A victory lap expected tonight for former President Trump, hoping for another next week in New Hampshire.
The big night is going to be in November when we take back our country.
The former president, after his historic landslide win in Iowa, now wants the rest of his competitors to coalesce behind him.
I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together.
Another dominant showing could set Mr. Trump on a nearly irreversible path to the GOP nomination after he crossed that key 50% threshold in Iowa, a symbol of his hold on the party.
As like a business owner, I felt that the economy ran better when he was in office.
He's the only one that can save this country.
The former president arriving to campaign from court. His legal problems hardly dissuading his backers. 2/3 of Iowa Republicans consider him fit to be president, even if convicted of a crime, according to our NBC News entrance polls. Mr. Trump winning nearly every demographic in that state, but the race in New Hampshire appears closer, with former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley trailing now by just single digits. After a third-place finish in Iowa, she's facing pressure to perform well here.
Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
Haley's campaign and allies spending nearly $30 million here so far, far more than her competitors. And she's spent more days in the state than Mr. Trump and DeSantis combined, backed by the popular New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu.
Is your state make or break for Nikki Haley next week?
I wouldn't say it's make or break. I just think she's going to do really, really well here.
What is really well?
Oh, she's going to have a strong second place, right?
To get there, or to a win outright, Haley will need support from independents who can vote in the GOP primary here, and from so-called never-Trumpers. Claire Monier, now for Haley, after her first pick, Chris Christie, dropped out, has backed the GOP in New Hampshire for decades, but says she cannot support Mr. Trump.
If Nikki Haley doesn't win the Republican nomination, what do you do then?
Well, the one I have the least objection to, and that would be Biden.
Even though he's a Democrat?
Even though he's a Democrat.
Haley's competitors casting her as not conservative enough, with DeSantis today on Haley's home turf in South Carolina.
Well, guess what? We punched our ticket out of Iowa yesterday.
That's after his second-place finish in the caucuses.
It's about focusing on the people's issues, not my issues. That's ultimately the way that we win the election in 2024.
And Hallie, there's a new headline tonight about an upcoming debate that was scheduled for New Hampshire. What do we know?
That's right, Lester. It's off because DeSantis would have been the only one on stage Thursday. That's after Haley said she would only debate Donald Trump or Joe Biden moving forward. And Mr. Trump, of course, has declined to debate this campaign.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.